Joe Bastardi is chief meteorologist for Weatherbell Analytics, and he joins us by saying, Joe, what in the world is going on? 200 tornadoes in a week. What's causing it?
That's happened before. We forecasted a big tornado ramp up for this past week. Now, I realize everybody can't. If you turn on Weatherbell, you see this stuff going on. It's because of the tremendous clash between the record cold in the western part of the United States and the record warmth over the southeast. Now, it was worse in 2008 and 2011. We had higher tornadic activity than this, but this is very, very bad. Now, the good news is we're about at the end of it. The bad news is we've got a couple of days here that we're really going to have to keep an eye on things. Also from Ohio into Pennsylvania today. And you know, Pat, the May 31st, 1985, the tornado outbreak, Northeast Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, and Ontario was unprecedented. And that was far worse than what we've seen now in a more widespread area. So we are at the time of the year, folks, that tornadoes are at their max. It's like being in early September in hurricane season. So you're going to see this ramped up for another few days, then the weather pattern changes. You folks in the northern plains, you're actually going to get some mild weather. The cool air will shift southeast and knock out a lot of the heat in the southeast. And when that happens, when you have it warm to the northwest and cooler to the southeast, that stops the tornadic activity. So we're expecting that later this week, the following week, and chances are this is the high point of the season right now.
Joe, how about these temperatures? They were record temperatures in the southeast. They're breaking records all over, like Georgia and Alabama and so forth. More of that or not? Go ahead.
It's unprecedented this early in the southeast. But let me ask you this question. Normal high in Columbia, South Carolina is 86 degrees, so they hit 100. That's 14 above normal. That's a big deviation. But how about State College, Pennsylvania, where I am? Easter Sunday, 1976, April 18th, normal high 62, the high was 94. It almost hit 100 in southeast Pennsylvania in April of 1976. The point is, heat waves happen, droughts happen, floods happen. It's part of nature going back and forth, and you're going to find that this particular season, hurricane season in the deep tropics, so those areas that got devastated in 2017, probably going to have another down year this year. And partly because of changes that are taking place now in the Pacific Ocean that will kick this tornado activity out, and we will be back down to or below normal, I think, for the month of June.
What about this El Nino thing? Is that what you're talking about, the Pacific? Is it El Nino? Go ahead.
The fluctuation of the El Nino. Right now, we're getting a major Arctic outbreak into Australia. And what that does is it raises the barometric pressure in Australia. When that happens, it changes the pattern in the Pacific. That, in turn, changes the pattern downstream. You've got to think globally to forecast locally.
Well, all right. Are you optimistic? Are we going to have a good summer? Let's just for the layman.
I think it's going to be. We've been out since March saying this could be the warmest year on record in the southeast, because we had a warm, winter just shut down completely after the big December snowstorm, and now we continue to run this, and we've got so much dry ground that's developed now that feeds back on itself during the summer. So there's no question that that's where the prowess of the heat is going to be in the southeast. The rest of the nation, I think we have a pretty normal summer. It goes back and forth, and we see less extremes as far as the cold goes. But look, every summer there's going to be some places going to get very hot. I just brought up April of 76. What about May of 1977, where the amount of heat for 10 days across the Great Lakes in the Northeast? And so what happens is, if you put it in perspective, you understand why the atmosphere can go back and forth. And there are times, listen, this isn't the Garden of Eden down here. I hate to say it. There are times when there's going to be conflict and clashes, and that's what you're seeing now.
Okay. Joe, thank you so much. Appreciate you being here. Come back, will you?
Yeah. Why don't you have me back when there's a big high-pressure system on and everything?
All right. Well, we want you to be ready, ladies and gentlemen, for natural disasters if they hit. That's why Operation Blessing has put together a free guideline. It's called Plan, Prepare, Protect. 3 steps to keep you and your family safe if and when disaster may strike. You can download it at cbn.com or request by email, link by calling 1-800-700-7000.